tap the drop to the city sewer, and I'm going to show you that real quick.
Okay.
So you can see that I'm there. So that right there is the water going this way in the city sewer on the bottom, and,
Okay.
and your line taps in from up top. That's they call that a drop to the city sewer.
Okay.
Now you've got a lot of these connections that are there. This is the crock pipe section of your clay pipe, crock pipe of your sewer line, and as you can see the lip there, right?
Yeah.
So it's sitting like this, and any sewer line with crock or clay pipe like that, over time they get misaligned.
Okay.
And as long as there's no space in between, or they're off shift so much that there's a gap here feeding the groundwater, it's okay.
And you don't see.
No, not with that one. Let's see if we see any coming up. And that right there is just calcium buildup. And what they can do with that is, with these older sewer lines, you should have it looked at probably, if that was all I saw here, I would say once every 3 or 4 years to have a camera inspection to make sure that, I was just telling the realtor that I just came from one that had 100% blocked with calcium, and it's like concrete.
Yeah.
And you got to cut it out of there, and it's a really hard thing to do, but
Okay.
we'll get you through this real quick here. A little bit of an offset there, but not bad. Pretty clean in this area of the pipe. So see that calcium there?
Yeah.
So that's built up pretty good.
Yeah.
It's blocking about half of your flow.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm going to make a couple notes here while we go. So it's 60 feet out. Okay. The nice thing about your sewer line here is that it's right in your easement area of before the street. So let's say you had to have the whole line ripped up and replaced. You would not have to touch the street, which that's where the cost really builds up.
Okay.
Yep. I don't see any cracks in the bottom of the pipe so far, which is really good.
Is it normal that it's clay?
Yeah.
Okay.
The newer sewer lines and newer houses have PVC piping, and the older ones have everything within your house is this, which is cast iron, and then you get outside the foundation wall and it connects to the clay or crock pipe, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so here is your connection to this is your crock pipe connection to back to your cast iron.
Okay.
This here looked pretty moderate. What happens with cast iron pipe is it scales kind of like a snake. So the walls scale off and fall on the bottom of the pipe and they get washed out. And we have to look at that pipe and see how much integrity we think it has left. So some of it looks like it's heavier than the rest. And some of it, I don't know how many people were living here in the last house, but it seemed like they didn't have much water going on in their line. This right here looks pretty normal. Here's where it gets a little bit heavier. So I'll have all this in my report for you. It's just something that you want to keep up on. That looks a little heavy right there. It's heavily scaled. So, I'm going to probably recommend that you have it every 2 to 3 years. You have the line inspect it. See how that's built up right there? Yeah, that's really not what you want to see. There's a couple ways of getting that out of there, and one is snaking and the other one is hydrojetting. And in this situation, I'd rather see a hydrojet go through there because it's less torque on the pipes.
Yeah.
You go into this old pipe with, you know, that real rigid snake, and it could actually do damage. So I'm just going to write in there that at 28 feet, you've got quite a bit of scale that's built up in that area. 28 feet. And I'll probably put in there too that if that's the only area that has the heavy scale, I'll probably say, you know, do that within a couple, 2-3 years. You know, have it jetted out. You don't want anything to block your line and have your water coming back up to your floor. Well, now we're getting to the better part of the cast iron, and that's not so bad at all. So that's really the only issue you have is keeping up on the maintenance. See how this is? That's pretty heavily scaled right there. It just needs to be blown out. Not a big deal. But that pipe should last you some years.
Okay.
All right.
So nothing major.
No, nothing major.
Okay. That's always good news.
Yes, it is. Because the house I just came from was was major.
Yeah, it was. Oh, goodness. Well, I know everyone told me to absolutely have it done. And I
Yeah.
thought,